What's going on, guys? It is the Poke King and we're back with another video. I'm excited to bring back one of the decks that people thought died after post-rotation 2024. And yes, you see the rolls right there. It is going to be Gardevoir-EX, and it's going to be a little bit more of my take. I will show you some cards you can take and replace with different cards, depending on if you had a local tournament or let's say a bigger tournament. So let's dive in. We have the nice, beautiful Ultra Pro sleeves, which I will be doing a video on because honestly, these are the best sleeves in the game. So first off, we're starting off with one memory skip Ralt. So the reason why you play this card is because of certain decks. For example, let's say you're playing against Arceus V-Star. They only have one attack on the V-Star. So you use a attack like a memory skip, does 10 damage for one psychic, and you choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon attacks. During your opponent's next turn, that Pokemon can't use that attack. So there's also some cool little things you can do here. And once again, there's small little scenarios. If this ever gets stuck in the active against a Mawile, you can choose the Mawile's attack to stop you from not being able to retreat next turn. So you play the memory skip. There's a bunch of different cards. Once again, like on Charizard, you can also hit Charizard. Since they don't play a lot of switch outs, you can also hit Burning Darkness. So one memory skip Ralt, we'll put that to the side. We then play 3 of the regular 70 HP Ralts. Super important. Teleportation Burst, not really caring for the attack. I guess it could kind of work. Switch this Pokemon with one of your bench if you're playing against Stall with like Snorlax. But we play the 70 HP with 1 retreat because, you know, more HP is good in case you miss out on getting your Jirachi. At least one of your Ralts can survive a Sableye attack, whereas if you were just playing the 60 HP, you would lose both Ralts. We're then also going to play 4 of the Kirlia. Now, before we used to play 3, but now we just want to try and hit our Kirlias as much as possible. Of course, the draw engine of Refinement busted. So we're now playing 4. Once again, this is from Silver Tempest. And we're pretty much using it, like I said, as the draw engine to just get through the deck. So you're definitely focusing on evolving your Pokemon first and not really using rare candies. Next up, take a look at 2 Gardevoir-EX. Of course, Psychic Embrace, busted ability, being able to attach psychic energies from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way you like, and then you put 2 damage counters for each energy. Miracle Force is also a decent attack, takes out a lot of the smaller Vs like Rotom, Lumineon V. So Miracle Force can also be used as a decent attacker. And then it's just a big body too as well. Of course, there's Darks running around, Roaring Moon, both Baby and EX. And then you also have Charizard. So, you know, Gardevoir-EX, you mainly want to drop her when you're ready to either start attacking or trying to take over the game. Next up are your baby attackers. So you have 2 forms of attackers in this deck, the way I kind of built it. We have like your main attackers. So for example, Screamtail. This of course was played before post-rotation. Roaring Scream, really good. It hits Baxcaliburs, which is important, hits Barbaros. It's just a really good card, honestly, Screamtail. And you use Super Rods just to get him back in the deck. And then we also play a Collapse. You can always collapse the Screamtail because sometimes your opponent will boss around this card. But Screamtail is definitely one of the better attackers. And then with a Luxurious Cape, you can also hit Charizards, which is really cool. Drifloon, really good, awesome ability. 30 times. Now that we have things like Hero's Cape, Bravery Charms, Drifloon can start taking out some of these bigger EX Pokemons. And that's what you're going to use Drifloon for. So with like a Bravery Charm, when you attach the for each damage counter, so for example, if you can get 8, it does 240. So you would need something like a Bravery Charm, which makes Drifloon really, really good. And we haven't really seen Drifloon get played. You know, in the beginning when Gardevoir first came out, everybody was talking about this card and then being able to use things like Bravery Charms. But now that Screamtail came out, people stopped playing this, but now we play both. So it's nice to see that both of these Pokemon get to play. Now, this is something that normally you'll see a 3-4 lineup or 4-3 lineup, but these are now what I call the win-con condition Pokemon. So these are the Pokemons where, depending on the certain deck you're playing and the draws of your opponent, and if you go first, you can pretty much shut them out of the game. So we're playing a Shuppet and a Bayonet EX. So the reason why I'm playing this is because, you know, Gardevoir, of course, is a slower deck. So what this allows you to do is pretty much kind of win the matchup against Chin-Pao players. So by getting Bayonet EX out on your second turn and using Everlasting Darkness, because they don't play the stage 1 I think it's Artabax, you can pretty much shut out Chin Pao players here with the Bayonet EX. And then they have to just singly attach to their Chin Pao. By that time, you should be able to take advantage of the game and pretty much, honestly, just knock out the Chin Pao. Or you can also just boss around it as well and just basically start KOing their Frigibacks. And then when you're able to get them down to 1 Frigibacks, you retreat the Bayonet, and then you just take out their last Frigibacks, and you just play kind of this game of give and go to where they're never able to get out a Bax Caliber. So we do play the Bayonet EX, just because I think it makes your Chin Pao matchup so much favorable. We play a Flutter main. This poops on Lost Box. So one of the biggest issue with Guardies is that, it did pretty much kind of lose to Lost Box last format. But with Flutter main, it gives you an attacker that's a little bit better than, let's say, for example, Klefki. And these are kind of like your two, I'm not letting your basic Pokemon do things. So Flutter main, really good against Lost Box. Klefki is good against Lost Box. It does shut down the Greninja, but it also does shut down, any of your other basic Pokemon. And we don't have any of the other basic Pokemons besides like, Manaphy or Jirachi. So Klefki is mainly for this stall matchup. You're not going to be able to Rotom. It's good against Charizard, so, it's a good opener. You're not going to Rotom. You're not going to do this. I was thinking of putting in a Cleffa, but I'm playing another card, and the deck list is kind of tight because you're also not playing the rare candies. So I like the Klefki and Flutter main. They, once again, different matchups. You choose on what you put out. Against Lost Box, you put out both, so they can't. I keep calling it Delibird. Put it in the comment section down below, the Pokemon that lets you put on your bench and switch out. It's like Future something or whatever. Next up, we're playing one Mimikyu. Really good against Charizard once again. If it's late game, you can drop a Mimikyu, and then if they don't really have the option of any bosses to boss around this, you pretty much can just stop them from attacking. Any EX and Vs, also against Lost Tina, you pretty much win. So you drop a Mimikyu, you find a way to collapse down your Gardevoir-EX, or you don't even need to do that. You can just attach manually, and you just keep only 4 bench Pokemon, and then Mimikyu just sits there. Now they can shred through this, of course, but if they're late game, they don't see this Mimikyu. I was gonna say EX. It's just Mimikyu. It's a really good card. Now some people will play a Mew EX, which I do like against the Charizard matchup, which I'm not knocking against it. I would say if you're playing at locals and there's a lot of Charizard, I would definitely throw in the Mew EX because you're limited to that 30-minute playing time. But if you go into something like a regionals, nationals, EUIC, one of the bigger tournaments, you have more time to kind of stall out your opponent. So Temping Trap against opposing Gardevoirs pretty much wins you the game. If you're able to, boss out like a Manaphy or Jirachi or something like that, they open with it. And this is just a really good card. Tempting Trap slows down the game. So I really do like the Mawile. Once again, bigger tournament, probably the Mawile, or you could maybe play both. Or you can still cut this for just the Mew EX with Geno hacking. So really good. I like the Mawile. So that's kind of all your psychic Pokemon that you play in the actual deck. You then play one Radiant Greninja. Just allows you to draw through the deck. You're not attacking with it. One Manaphy protects you, of course, against Greninja. Other Screamtails as well. So Manaphy is really good there. Jirachi, of course, Sableye wrecks this deck because it's a lot of lower HP Pokemon in the beginning. Even the stage 1 Curlia is 80 HP. So you use this to pretty much protect you against Sableye. So that's for all the Pokemon that we're playing in the deck. All right, next up, let's take a look at the supporter line. It's not too big of a supporter line, but it's going to be a little bit different than what we used to play. So now we're playing 4 Arven. The reason why Arven is really good is because we did lose Level Ball, we want more consistency, and you pretty much want to go second with this deck. Like I said, unless you know what your opponent playing, like the Chin Pao, then you want to try and get, the Bayonet EX out to lock them out of their items. But you play Arven because you pretty much want that evolution item. So you search out with Arven, and then you're basically able to go into your refinement Curlias. So you pretty much want to get out your entire board and then just start evolving them and playing through that way. So we do play 4 Arven. We also play 4 Iono. So, you're not really putting out many 2-prizer attackers, except if you use like Luxurious Cape. But Iono just allows you to just go crazy, honestly. Iono's really good. Being able to, shuffle your opponent down to 1 or 2 against Lost Box can pretty much be the game. So Iono, really good card. Disruption, can never complain. One Professor Turos. I was thinking about a Thornton to do some cool little plays to where you can Thornton into an attacker or Thornton into the Shuppet to involve in the Bayonet EX. if you have to discard off an Ultra Ball. I didn't want to get cute. Decided, we'll just play Professor Turos. Really good when they try to, boss out and stick on like a Drifloon or a Screamtail. You could just pick it back up. And we do play the one boss's order. I was thinking about cutting one Iono and playing a Palpad. So it's either your 5th Iono, 5th Arven, second boss, or second Turo. But we may have to do some more testing, but I do like the one boss. So that's it for the supporters. All right, we're going to take a look at the items and the tools and stadium. So for Buddy Buddy, let's get that to focus. For Buddy Buddy Poffins, awesome card. Once again, you guys know what this thing does. It allows you to not lose with Battle VIP Pass, and that was the issue with guarding the deck. If you didn't open Battle VIP Pass, you pretty much had to go into like the Kirlia that allowed you not Mirage Step, I forgot what it was called, but it allowed you to pretty much put down your Kirlias onto the bench, which was busted. But now we need the Buddy Buddy Poffins. Still playing in the deck, has always played like pretty much like 3 Ultra Balls, so we are playing 3 Ultra Balls. You're playing 2 Nests. This does get you out like your Greninja, which you can't get off Puffins, and then it does get out your Fluttermane. So really good here, and then everything else you can get out, and you can get Mawile with this as well. We are playing 2 counter catchers. You'll see a lot of the Gardevoir decks playing 3, but once again, I had to make room for the Mawile. It could be a Mew, could have a Gallade in there, but we're playing 2 counter catchers. You do fall behind sometimes in this deck, and then counter catcher allows you to come back. We're playing 2 Super Rods because you want to loop back your attackers, any of your Gardevoirs that get knocked out, or Kirlias, and then once again also your Fluttermane and Drifloon. So 2 Super Rods. 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball. We have a lot of very important basic Pokemon, especially Jirachi and Manaphy. So you can Arven for this and set up turn 1. 1 Earthen Vessel. Gets you an energy into the hand, 2 energies into the hand, allows you to discard energies, fuels your Greninja, and then once again fuels your Refinement Kirlias. 2 Technical Machine Evolutions. So this is pretty much what you're playing now. So you go turn 1, Ralts, energy for the turn, and then you attach this on, obviously if you're going second, you get to attack. You Arven for this, and then like another item, like a Puffin, and then you evolve the bench Ralts into Kirlia. So this is how we're, speeding up the deck to try and get to our Refinement Kirlias, is with these TMEs. Really good. 1 Luxurious Cape. You only want to play this when you know you're going to take a big 2 prize, mainly for Charizard, of course, and then also maybe like some Raging Bolts that have, we don't play a Lost Vacuum, so, some of the Raging Bolts can attach the Ancient Capsule on it and then go up to 300 HP, so we use the Luxurious Cape. 1 Bravery Charm, makes your Drifloon busted. Almost thinking about you want a second one in here, but you really can't, so we just play 1 Bravery Charm, makes Drifloon even better. And then what made the deck go brr, we have 1 Hero's Cape, which allows you to pretty much knock anything out in the format with either mainly Drifloon, but also with Screamtail can hit some heavy damage. So Hero's Cape, really good. And then we do play the 1 Collapse. You could play either a Town Store to get out and search the items, but I felt a Collapse was just a little bit more important, especially if, they're trying to stall you out and then dump to the bench. But when I do the new deck profile on this to kind of, update it, I'll let you know if we switch this out for the Town Store. So that's all the Pokemon items, tools, trainers. And then for energies, pretty simple. There's no reversal, so we don't play that. We're playing 8 Psychic energies for a total of 60 card pile. All right, guys, that was my Gardevoir-EX deck. Now, it will change over the next few months, obviously, as new sets release. I think it's Twilight Masquerade that we have coming up. And obviously, as the format changes with different decks being more popular and then some taking the step back, maybe something like the Bayonet and the Shuppet kind of moves out of the deck since it's not a Gardevoir Bayonet EX deck. But let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of some of the text, some of the different items that we have in the deck. Should we drop the Iono and go to maybe another Palpad to give you those extra supporters? Put it in the comment section down below. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, become part of the Poke Kingdom. It's been the King. Peace.